Welcome back to the channel. We're finally hot tent camping because there's quite a bit of snow outside and it's pretty cold.
Not in here though. It's quite warm in here.
Your stew is simmering.
Your stew will get there.
Yeah, for dinner we're making, if we're gonna be in a hot tent with a wood stove, no better dish than
stew.
2 separate pots of stew, of course, because mine has meat and
beef broth, and mine has no meat and veggie broth.
So for the next like 3.5 hours or so.
Yeah, the issue with stew is, you know, if you want it to be good, you've got to really wait for it.
But that's what we're gonna do.
At least 3.5 hours. The longer it sits, honestly, the better.
And it's so warm in here that we could just be in here forever.
Yeah.
It is. If I put my hand up here, it's almost like burning hot. But this is perfect temperature down here now.
But I mean, I'm glad they're joining us after all of the hard work.
Yes.
It took us hours to get all of this set up. So.
Well, especially just digging out a space this big. The snow.
What do you call it? Concrete?
Yeah, the snow in Washington is typically called cascade concrete, because what tends to happen is it'll snow a lot, several feet at once, and then it might rain from then on, or it'll just start dripping out of the trees and refreeze overnight. And it goes from being like 4 or 5 feet down to 2 feet. And it's like, we dug out a rock, and it was a sizable rock, and when I threw it, it just bounced off the snow a few times.
So it's been real fun shoveling it.
But now, since we're just sitting in here, we thought we'd play one of the fun games we've played at home a few times.
National Parks Trivia. So we'll divide these in half. Do you want to play like what? First to 10 questions?
We'll do first to 10 points. Yeah. That's the little...
This is the top one.
Okay. Which Idaho out-of-this-world site is a vast ocean of lava flows dotted with cinder cone islands?
Craters of the Moon National Monument.
I like how they write Craters of the Moon National Park and Preserve. That doesn't exist.
No, it's a national monument. But I got one right,
yep.
So I go again.
Haha!
Oh,
good luck.
God.
At which national cemetery are most Civil War soldiers interned? It's not the famous one.
It's not Washington, D.C.
No, it's not near Washington. Oh, maybe it's near Washington, D.C. No, it's not. But it's not the famous one outside of Washington, D.C.
Is it in New York? I have no idea, just tell me.
It's Vicksburg National Cemetery. My turn. I got the same one, whatever that was.
Oh, top one. That's like a... Oh. Haha. It's not a national... Anyways. The 600-foot tall Kelso Dunes in which national preserve make a thunder-like sound when their sands shift. I love this place.
Preserve.
I posted a
National
picture.
Preserve.
Yes, because
Yeah.
I posted a picture and I said something about it's not the miles, it's not the time, it's the miles or something. Some Indiana Dunes quote that I posted to that picture on Instagram.
I'm not sure it rolled or if it just fell, but I'm going with that.
Which one of the 2 non-presidents to have their faces on American bills died in a duel in Weehawken? So you could get this.
Say it again?
Which one of the 2 non-presidents to have their faces on American bills died in the duel in Weehawken?
It's Benjamin Franklin. It's Hamilton. Yeah.
Alexander Hamilton. I miss the rains down in Africa. In the statue at his memorial, Franklin D. Roosevelt is wheelchair bound because of which disease?
Polio?
Yeah. You love your wild cards. There are more National Park Service units dedicated to this former president than any other American, including one in the Badlands of North Dakota.
Theodore Roosevelt?
Yep. These are easy.
Yeah.
You get easy questions. Not anymore.
Nope.
Okay, well. Petersburg, Virginia was besieged for 292 days as Union forces attempted to cut off supplies to which city?
Richmond.
Yeah. That was easy.
It could have been quite a few. It could have been Washington,
You
D.C.
got like one of the only easy battlefield questions.
That was not easy.
It was.
Man.
Which statue's face is rumored to have been modeled after Frederick Augustus
A goose?
Garibaldi's mother, Charlotte?
I don't even know what you just said. Okay, which statue's face is rumored to have been modeled after Frederick Auguste Bartholdi's mother, Charlotte? It's the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Okay. What am I on? Is that
You're
fifth?
just basically winning.
I think it was number 5.
Yeah.
We're just gonna drink the rest of the wine.
Yep. The stew is going down. Bread and butter time. It's steamy.
We only got the stew off the stove,
It's hot.
but we got a little bit of bread so far. So good.
You're just excited to eat the meat cubes.
I just haven't had stew in so long. We were thinking, I mean, is there a better winter hot tent recipe? I don't think so.
Probably better made stew.
No. The recipe was fine. We're still learning.
Greta definitely my mom definitely gave me like a whole list of instructions, like step by step, and I was like, yeah, I'll wing it. What?
You're so cute. I just hear a thunk cork come off the top of the wine bottle.
I don't have a cup.
Mm-hmm.
How's
The
your
meat tastes pretty good.
Is it good?
Oh yeah. Finished up our stew.
We finished that a while ago.
Oh, it's still pretty early.
I took a nap.
And I just sat here stoking the flames.
You watched YouTube videos.
But now, well, every time you add wood into the wood stove, it gets really hot in here. Then it cools down a bit, but we're working on regulating the temperature a little in this new tent. But we're thinking of calling it an early night.
I already called it a night. You
Yeah.
woke me up.
Well, I wanted you to say goodnight to the people.
No. Good night, people.
And we'll catch up tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.
Good morning. We've been awake for a while, but it's warm.
Well, you got up to stoke the fire.
Yeah, well, of course. I got up. I did that a few times overnight. Almost went through our wood pile in here, but that just means for tonight I'll have to chop up some more wood. I've got plenty more.
I'll make dinner if you chop wood.
Well, we'll make breakfast too.
Well, we're gonna attempt to make breakfast.
What did we bring again?
We brought muffins.
Oh yeah, muffin mix.
We brought muffin mix because I read that if you use like half of the water, you can make it more of a dough, which you can then fry. So we're gonna try to fry some muffin mix.
Gonna do little like fried donut muffins.
And then I brought powdered sugar that we can roll them in.
So we're really making donuts out of muffins.
And I brought my espresso machine.
That'll be nice.
Not for you. You don't like coffee.
No, well, it'll be nice for you.
It'll be nice for me.
For your heated socks. My feet were pretty close to the fire. I didn't need any heated socks.
I have my inner tent booties from Sierra Designs. They were nice enough to send to me.
Sierra Designs also sent us 2 of their newer Sierra jackets, which for these temperatures, around 30-ish degrees Fahrenheit, they're perfect. And we think they look great, so thank you for sending us these, because we will be using them a lot.
So if any of you guys are interested in trying one of these jackets or booties, you can check the link in the description to find out more.
More wood.
Thank you.
Well, this is an experiment.
Possibly with like a 90% failure rate, if I had to guess. We have a can of blueberries and we have this, and we're gonna mix. We start off with that.
Okay. Can we mix and find out?
Yep, pretty much. You have higher hopes of this working, don't you? That should be good.
Is that just gonna be 1 or gonna be 2?
Well, are we making little donut holes or are we making big donuts?
Oh. That's working.
It's supposed to float to the top.
All those blueberry muffin fried things didn't really work.
Hey, they tasted good.
So now we're just gonna use the muffin dough to make pancakes, which should be pretty straightforward.
Except we don't have a spatula. But
Spatula improvisation time.
yeah, your option is a saw.
I'm actually gonna give it a second one. Well,
Everything was a failure.
plan A meal didn't work, plan B meal didn't work, so
We're on plan C. Muffins.
after we eat these, then I'll probably go and cut down some more firewood, but this time I'll grab it out of like a little spruce tree or something. We'll be able to use little logs because the stove is really hot. Adding my wood. We've been laying down for a while since I got the wood. Not much to do.
Well, the thing about the hot tent is heat rises, so laying down it's like the perfect temperature, but when you sit up it's like very warm.
So, how about some more national parks trivia?
So you can win again.
Well, I don't know.
Wild. Why don't we just go down the list?
Okay. You want to start at the top? The next card?
Yeah.
Alright.
Let's do that.
We're not rolling the dice. We decided we're just going down the list.
It's a lot of effort to
Gotta bend over. Alright, starting with the Yosemite one at the top. What designation is given to a natural, biological, or geological feature of national significance? This is a ridiculous question.
A national park?
No, a national natural landmark.
Wow!
Alright, my top one.
What glacier, the largest in Alaska, is 40 miles wide and 28 miles long? Never heard of it.
It's just the biggest glacier?
The largest in Alaska.
Okay. Because the biggest Piedmont Glacier, I would assume, is also the biggest glacier. And it's just out of the southern portion of, like the ocean portion of Wrangell St. Elias.
It says nearly all of the glacier is encompassed by Wrangell St. Elias National Park.
It's like Mantipina.
You're very close.
Yeah, I know. But it's tough to not get it confused with Matanuska, which is not.
It's not that.
Malspina. All right. I was so close from the beginning.
You can have it.
That is an obscure glacier,
I
too.
just wanted you to guess. All right, going down the list.
Yes. I would give you that. I would be so impressed
if
you
you
got that.
You gave me General Custard.
That's
What it was General Custard. Okay.
You're giving me your sickness. Yeah.
Which automatic survival mechanism prioritizes blood flow to vital organs over extremities?
That's such a... Were we reading the right game? Can I read that again?
Which automatic survival mechanism prioritizes blood flow to vital organs over extremities?
It's probably a generic name.
It is.
But we wouldn't think about it in that definition. I don't know. What is it?
Hypothermia.
That would make sense. But like that...
I don't know why that's in here,
But also like... What is that? That doesn't sound right. That's hypothermia? That has absolutely nothing to do with being cold.
Yeah, but hypothermia you always think of as being something that happens when you're cold.
Yeah. Hypothermia is being so cold.
Hypothermia is like...
Because I was thinking of like roots, so I was like, well, hemo, because blood.
But it makes sense because like you do start shutting down just so that it can protect your vital organs and give them blood.
Yeah, they should have added when you're cold in there. The spot-fin chub is found on which wild and scenic river located in Tennessee? That's not any better.
I don't know rivers in Tennessee. The Tennessee River.
No, the Obed. Yeah. Wild and scenic river.
I'm sure it's wild and scenic. Which desert-dwelling rodent found in Canyonlands National Park was with a down-under moniker produces water from the plant matter
Kangaroo rat.
Yep. Yes. Director Alfred Hitchcock credited which poet and author with sparking his interest in suspense?
Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes. Okay, I can't read this. This is so easy. In which state are 17 of the 20 highest peaks in the U.S. found?
Alaska.
Yes.
Cruising through. I don't
Should
even
we
know
just skip the battlefield ones?
No, we're doing the battlefield ones.
Alright.
That's when I get to stop my streak.
They were easy questions!
Yeah, but this is not going to be easy anymore.
Which state's monument at Antietam
Maryland.
National Battlefield is the only monument dedicated to both sides?
Never mind. Antietam is in Maryland, because you had that just now, had that question. Okay, which state? Wait, actually, it still could be. Wait.
No, it is Maryland.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's not fair because you just read the question about it being in Maryland.
No, that's a completely different question.
That's not fair.
Because that question was not saying where is Antietam Monument. It was saying which state. That's the Mason-Dixon line.
The Siglo de Oro Drama Festival, held at Chamizo National Monument in Texas, celebrates which country's golden age? That's pretty easy too.
And Mexico?
No, it's Spain.
Spain, huh? Wasn't sure. All free males, regardless of race, between what ages were required to serve in the colonial militia? Between which two ages?
Is that like an actual range?
Mm-hmm. That's a range. You gotta completely guess both sides. There's no multiple choice.
Why do I keep getting these stupid questions? I don't know, 16 to 45.
16 to 60. You were halfway there.
I got 16!
That is what it was, right? Yeah, 16 to 60.
Alright. Here's an easy one. Which national park is home to Exit Glacier?
Kenai Fjords National Park
Yep.
and Preserve, Alaska.
Which chatty, problem-solving avian found in Arches National Park is a prominent figure in both European and Native American folklore?
So I assume this is also found everywhere.
Yes.
I don't know why they had to add some random national park.
No idea. Because they had to make it about national parks because it's national park trivia.
But see, I wouldn't think of... Read the question again.
Which chatty, problem-solving avian found in Arches National Park is a prominent figure in both European and Native American folklore?
Chatty and problem solving. A chatty I can get. Problem solving?
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Does it have anything to do with the name? Why would it be problem solving? The name I assume is to do with chatty. Or not actually. Because the one
I
I'm
don't
thinking
know
of is
what problem-solving bird means.
Yeah, I don't know. But when I think of... Well, when I think of a bird that's in a lot of folklore, I think of those black and white birds. What's it called? Well, I think of ravens, and I think mostly of magpie. I'm gonna say magpie.
It's raven.
Oh, come on! Between raven and magpie.
It was just funny because you were like, I can't remember the name of the other bird. Here's the budget way to have espresso. You can get these little pots on Amazon for like $20. Can I have the water? No. It's a one-shot espresso. And then you screw the top on. And something about pressure forcing the water up through the grinds makes espresso. Don't ask me, I don't know. To heat the milk, I'm just going to put it in the mug and put it right on the stove. Hopefully, it works. I didn't bring my frother because I thought that would be a little overkill. There we go.
For dinner, we've got, look at that, does that freeze?
Olive oil does freeze.
Yeah. We've got some,
frozen olive oil.
We're making quesadillas, so I have some of last night's steak. I'm just going to put a little bit of oil in here. And some salt.
We're doing real basic quesadillas, just rice, beans, cheese, and for you, steak.
Start with the refried bean layer. I'm very meticulous with this kind of thing too,
Yeah,
so this is gonna bother Rosa real quick.
I don't know why we're filming you making it, because it's going to take 10 hours.
Cheese layer number 1.
Cheese is the most important part.
Yes, well, the queso part of quesadilla. It's pretty good.
Down on there. Grab. We always just bring a plate to cover it so that the cheese melts.
One beautiful quesadilla. Oh, that's so good. I've already eaten some of my first one, and it was absolutely excellent.
I'm not eating mine.
But we were talking about
stories of our families losing us.
well, just camping when we were younger, and her family lost her once, and I was talking about how
Okay, no, my family didn't lose me. My cousins lost me.
that's part of your family. The worst one, it's all the stories of us losing my little brother.
No, well, Ryan purposely would get lost.
Well, he just walks off, yeah. But I mean, kids do that. But in France once, we were just in some like town square or something, and it was like several hours, like a good portion of the day that Orion was lost. My mom was like crying to the police and everything, and especially what was scary was that this was a coastal town with like at low tide like probably a 15-foot drop along the whole edge of the town, pretty much into the ocean. And hours later, when my dad, me and my sister, I think we were all together, finally found him, he was in the middle of like a busy intersection with a little lollipop. Just standing there, like people are honking, people are like, what is this kid doing? Just standing in the middle of this intersection. Not a care in the world.
Orion
We've
living his
lost
best
him.
life.
We've lost him so many times. We've lost him skiing a lot. Well, you lose everybody skiing.
That's because everybody looks the same.
You know, skiing, there's no chance. Like, well, everybody, it's just you can't. You know, you're kind of hoping they follow you. There's too many turns.
What if you're walking?
This is so good.
It's like I was saying earlier. It's one of the best like effort you put in versus reward you get out of it.
Foods.
Very
yeah.
good ratio.
Oh yeah. Sleeping bag's a little damp.
Mine's nice and warm.
It was on the ground a little bit. But it's so warm and toasty in here. We'll be just fine.
Barely need the sleeping bag.
Maybe be too hot, but I'm sure I'll be waking up plenty of times to stoke that fire.
I'll be sleeping.
We'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
Bye.
Good night. Good morning. Got very foggy and cloudy out there.
Well, it rained last night.
Yeah, it rained probably from midnight onward. Even though it was below freezing, it rained. That's no fun.
But I think we're gonna start packing up.
And even though we just built this fire back up, we'll be putting it out in a bit.
Well, it didn't go completely out last night. You were stoking it.
Here's our mark on the forest. Nothing more than a melted circle.
Maybe we'll come back and hot tent camp here again.
Maybe someone's gonna walk up to this and be like, what in the world?
It's aliens.
Although, the good thing with Washington and the Cascade Snowpack is that pretty much no matter what you do to the terrain, by the end of the season is going to be completely invisible under another 10 more feet of snow. Well, thank you for watching our 2-night hot tent camping adventure here in this old growth rainforest, but in winter.
Our first attempt hot tent camping.
Yeah, this was the first time we've ever spent the night in our own little hot tent.
So if you guys have any suggestions on like what makes it better or more comfortable or anything like that, because we're complete newbies with it, we'd love to hear.
Yeah, so please let us know. And we post videos like this every week, and for the next, what?
Sometimes every week.
We try to do it every week. And for the next, like, it's probably going to be 5 or so months, it's going to be winter content. So if you're into that, please consider subscribing to our channel. See you next week.
Bye.